How to plot a chart in Excel. We have that data in Excel for temperature and rainfall and time. We want to plot a chart for that data. So we select temperature and rainfall, the two columns, plus the titles, that is temperature and rainfall. Then we go to Insert. When you click Insert, you have those options: column, chart, line graph, pie chart, bar chart, area, scatter, and so on. So for our case, we shall choose the line graph, and we click on the first option there. That's our preference. When you click there, you get that chart which is produced. This chart does not have the category axis. The values for time, the months of the year, are not indicated on the category axis or on the horizontal axis, but you want to place them there. So you click on that axis, then you right click. After that, you go to select data. You click select data. So in this dialog box that appears, you click here, horizontal or category axis labels. You click here, edit, and then that's what happens. So you go to our data and choose the values on the category axis, that is the months of the year. You select like that, then you come here and say OK, and say OK again. So you see they appear there. Now we have the months of the year on the x-axis or on the horizontal axis, which I'm calling the category axis. So that's how far we have come. Now these two charts, temperature and rainfall, they are different variables. They have different units. So they cannot be for the same vertical axis. So we need to have what we call primary vertical axis and secondary vertical axis. So we want to make rainfall data to be on the secondary vertical axis. This is the rainfall data. So click on it, you right click, and what happens? We have those those values there. So we click on format data series, and then we have that which appears. So we choose the secondary axis so that temperature remains on the primary axis. So you click there and you close. What happens? Now we have the two axes, the two vertical axes, the primary and the secondary. The secondary axis for rainfall. Now we want to change our rainfall chart to be a bar chart, not line chart, but bar chart. So you click on it. It's already selected. So you right click on it like that. And then what do? We say format. We say what? We say we change the series chart type here. So you click there, and then you have that option of the types of chart that you want to select. So we want a bar chart. There are many of them here, so we shall choose the first one, the column bar chart. Click there and say OK. So you see it changes. So this is now our rainfall chart, which is a bar chart, and this is the temperature chart, which is a line graph. Alright, now from there, we want to label our axis. So we want to label this axis for temperature. So we go to layout. We go to layout, click layout. These are the options. Now we want to have axis titles. So we click axis titles. you want to label the primary vertical axis, you click there, you hover your mouse, your cursor there, then you come to rotated title, so you click there. So you have that, then you can write your title here there. So I can write temperature in degrees Celsius. So that's what I'm doing. So that is now the vertical axis, the primary vertical axis is labeled. Then I can just click outside, then it is there. Now I want to label the secondary vertical axis. I go to layout, then I choose axis titles here. Then I go to secondary vertical axis there. They can choose rotated vertical axis here. So I have that provision. I can now write my axis, which is rainfall in millimeters. Nothing was happening. Let me just write. Oh, it's done. So we have rainfall in millimeters. It is done. So the two axes, the vertical axis are labeled. We have not labeled the horizontal axis, which is for time. So we go to layout again. We go to axis titles. We go to primary horizontal axis. This one here. Title below axis. So now you can write, you can specify that is months of the year. That's what happens. So that's the chart you have now. So we have plotted the chart for rainfall and temperature in Excel. So you can do other things like you can change the font of these labels on the axis. If you click there, you go to home, and then you can bold it. You can make it even bigger. The font can be 12. Like that, it becomes bigger and more visible. You can go to the horizontal axis. You can go to home, bold, and even make it bigger. You can go to font, make it 12. It's bigger like that. You can come here, and then you go to home, bold, and make it bigger like that. So that's how you can play around with the labels and even the titles here. You can make it, you can increase the font to 12. And here, the months, you can increase the font to 12 as well, because your data, your chart needs to be more visible. You need to improve on the way it is viewed by researchers. So that's what we have. So that's the graph of rainfall and temperature against time, which has been prepared in Excel.